So I want to move on to the Rams and the Panthers. This was an outstanding game. I mean, just wire to wire, outstanding game from both of these teams. And this was an offensive shootout from both of these teams, right? Like 34-31. And what really impressed me was that I thought Bryce Young was outstanding in this game. Like I thought he was really, really good. And, I look at Bryce Young the same way I look at Caleb Williams. I think he's going to work. I think Bryce Young is going to work in this league. I think he's going to get to a point where he's a really good quarterback. Right now, I look at him and I say he's above average. There's inconsistent play from him. And I think because of his inconsistency, that's a reason why you look at the Panthers and you say, what team are they really? But I think that when you look at Bryce Young, year 2 was way better than year 1. And I think year 3 was better than year 2. I want to see what's going to happen in year 4 because I think that he's going to establish himself as a legitimate starting quarterback in year 4. Now, they're going to have to make a decision when it comes to paying him after this year, right? I don't think he's put himself in a position where I'm like, no, you got to pay this guy. Absolutely not. But I think he's making the strides to where you say, yeah, the development doesn't look like some of the best quarterbacks in the league, right? Where a lot of these guys came in and you just saw it right away. You're not seeing it right away from Bryce Young, but you're starting to see he's developing into something. And I think that Bryce Young was outstanding. I really do. And I don't think that the Panthers really ran the ball all that well in this game. So for him to be in this spot where he has a young team that he's playing with against a team like the Los Angeles Rams, who's coming into your building, a Super Bowl favorite to some people, right? And for him to play as well as he did, I thought that was very impressive from Bryce Young. Like to me, when I look at this performance, kind of like Jordan Love, I don't put this game on Bryce Young at all. I don't look at this performance and say Bryce Young's the problem. No, I say, hey, run game, you got to be better. Defense, you got to be better. Because I feel like people place too much emphasis on, okay, you won the game. That makes the quarterback great. Oh, you didn't win the game. He's a playoff choker. He didn't do enough to win the game. No, football is not like that at all. Football is the most complementary sport in the entire world when it comes to any team sport. It is the most reliant on other players on your football team. You need your offensive line to block. You need your receivers to get open and catch the ball. Jimmy Horn. You need your defense to be able to stop the opposing offense enough times to where your offense doesn't have to overextend themselves to win the game. Football is a complementary game. It is a complementary sport. So when I look at this and I look at this game, I say, Bryce Young, you did everything you could. I don't have a single complaint about the way you played this game. So salute to Bryce Young. The Panthers, to me, like I'm such a fan of Dave Canales. I thought Dave Canales did a fantastic job with this team. I think they have a home run coach there. They made that hire. I believe this is his second year as the head coach. I think he's outstanding. I get it. The wins and losses might not reflect that per se, but for them to be where they were last year and to see where they're at right now, especially when you look at the leap that they took defensively, I know that's not Dave Canales is the head coach, right? He's not the defensive coordinator. And it's not like, from a personnel perspective, they added like a whole bunch of top flight talent to this defense. Their personnel is fine defensively, and I thought they improved big time this year. So, I'm excited to see Dave Canales in year 3. I'm excited to see Bryce Young in year 4. But I want to move this over to the Los Angeles Rams. What a gutsy performance. Look, sometimes it doesn't look pretty, right? Like, this is a playoff atmosphere, and I get it. People are going to look at the Panthers and say, they're below 500 team. You should blow them out. I got it. Understood that. This is the playoffs at the end of the day. And the playoffs are not the type of atmosphere where you're just like, hey, look, you're going to go in and blow these teams out. I don't care how good a team is. I don't care how bad a team is. blowouts usually don't happen in the playoffs. It's not a common occurrence. So for the Rams to come in there, obviously they did not play their best game. They'll tell you that firsthand. And for them to go in there and pick up this win, I found that to be impressive. And especially with that late season stretch that they were on where they weren't playing their best football, for them to find a way to win this game, credit to the Rams. And honestly, like when you look at the Rams going forward, they have Devontae Adams. He came back from injury, and Quentin Lake came back from injury. I believe he was out with injury. And for Devontae Adams to come back, 5 receptions for 72 yards. And, was it pretty? No, it wasn't. But I think let him get, a week under him, and I think you're going to see this Rams offense play at an extremely high level. So when I look at this game, I thought it was an awesome game. I thought the Panthers overachieved in this game, and I thought that the Rams kind of played down to their competition. But in the end, the better team won, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the Rams for the rest of this playoffs, right? Because they're in a situation where they're going to either play, so I think they're either going to play Chicago or Seattle, right? They can't play Philly next round because they would be the second lowest seed, if I'm not mistaken, because both the top 2 seeds are in the playoffs. So they would either play Chicago or they would play Seattle. Yeah. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup, either one of those games.